This is the analysis of Nick here, and for this video, I'm just talking about why I am so hyped for the new God of War game. So the God of War Ragnarok game, which is coming out in 4 weeks' time. I can't share, subscribe. I share the video all over, and for those of you that have been following my channel now, like for more than a year, you'll know that God of War 2018, like is one of my favorite games of all time. It's in my top 3 games of all time. So with this one being a sequel, I can't wait for this game. I pre-ordered it, last week. So yeah, I just have to wait 4 more weeks, 3 to 4 more weeks. So a reason number one why I am anticipated for this game, and this video will have a gameplay in it, is because a reason number one is because the overall story. Now, if you guys know, like a God of War, like is like like a story about vengeance and a kind of like destiny versus free will, prophecies and lore, and they transition it from Greek mythology to Norse mythology. So the story, Kratos now, the character here, like to the left, right. I'm curious to know where they're going like with his character, since this is the last one in the Norse mythology. Where they're going like with the character. Is he gonna get more weapons? Who is he gonna fight? Obviously, he's gonna fight Thor. Are we gonna get more callbacks to his Greek mythology, like when he was at the God of War, like in the previous games? Are we gonna see flashbacks of Zeus, Athena, so on, those Greek gods? And yeah, so there's so many different ways that they could go with his story. Atreus as well, Atreus being his son to the right. Atreus, no, they kind of conflict a little bit in terms of destiny versus free will, kind of. And with the last game, spoilers, so skip ahead for spoilers, right? Skip ahead. Like his son Atreus is Loki of Norse mythology. He was supposed to be Loki, but like his father named him Atreus, but his mother wanted him to be called Loki. So like I'm curious to know, because Loki, like as a god of mischief, deception, is Atreus really gonna become that bad character, or is he gonna become more noble and near the end? What's gonna happen? And the dynamic between these two characters, right? Atreus being a kind of like a more distant father, but still caring, like about his son. Is it gonna be like a certain conflict between them, they're kind of setting up seeds for a conflict between them, like in the previous game, and with a godhood and whatever. There's a bunch of things like demigod and godhood, and who you are, and like I said before, destiny versus free will. So there's so many different ways that they go with the story, and there's so many other factors too, like Freya, which is like Vanir, Norse god, right? In the previous game, spoilers, right? Spoilers. Kratos killed her son. Now she's coming back for a revenge. You have Thor, Odin, and the Yomengander, the giant snake, a Skull and Hati, the giant wolves, right? The whole thing about swallowing the sun and the moon, right? So there's tons of prophecies, lots more things to go. So a reason number one, the story. A reason number two, the realms to explore. We're gonna get more realms. The realms is like basically like Norse mythology has like 9 realms, right? Midgard, Earth, Asgard, right? So on. In the previous game, we could only get half those realms, but in this game, there's gonna be all of those realms are gonna be unlocked. All of those realms. So there's gonna be all 9 realms. Quickly Niflheim, Alfheim, Asgard, Svartalfheim, Vanaheim, so on. And the one that really stands out is Helheim. I feel, because Helheim is like a frozen hell, for example. Then another example, Midgard is like Earth, so it's like a Scandinavian, type. Lots of snowy areas, grassland areas, lakes, seas, and all that. So lots of exploration, and with 4 more realms coming, right? Asgard, more exploration, more side missions, potentially. Reason number three why I am so hyped for the game, to see more bosses and more enemy variety. The previous game did lack some enemy variety. It's a slight nitpick in the bosses could have been like a little bit better. There's too many of those same trolls, too many ogres. We needed more. I needed to see more variety, and this game, based on the previous trailer I've seen, the one that came out like a month ago, there's a lot more. They're giving us a lot more in terms of boss variety, enemy variety. We saw, for example, the giant There's a giant dinosaur type creature. There's a giant alligator. There's multiple different types of new amphibian type creatures. There's light elves. There's Thor, Freya. So right off the bat, are we gonna get more bosses? And are we gonna fight Skull and Hattie, those giant wolves as well? We don't know. They might turn on us. So yeah, more boss variety and enemy variety. Reason number 4, another reason to see where they go with the side missions. And with the side missions, like in the previous game, it was the side missions. You do the side missions for those dwarf, and Norse mythology has dwarfs, a dwarf like a blacksmiths, right? They're very good at blacksmithing. So yeah, they would send you like on a side mission. You would go do a certain side mission, and then you come back like with the artifact and upgrade points and upgrade this, and upgrade like armor, abilities, super abilities, armor sets, stats and all that. So yeah, but very interesting. Now I'm curious to know, like with the newest God of War Ragnarok, are we gonna see more? What new side missions are we gonna see? Are we gonna see more ghost type side missions, right? Or more of those type of side missions where you would have to kind of where like it's like unlocking like a secret area like in the world, and the world is I feel is very tall and high and very deep, lots of detail I like in the world. So yeah, I'm just gonna allow for more exploration. So side missions. Reason number 5, the world. The world in the previous game felt such like a real world. Like every area felt so distinct and unique, similar to what I said in reason number 2, with the realms. Like I said before, there's grassland areas, mountain areas, inside cave areas, inside snowy cave areas. There's seas. There's like hell, like a literal frozen hell. There's like this type of a volcano type realm, where it's just all lava and rock. That's all you see, and mountains, that have a collapse, and a Jotunheim as well. So with the world is going to be bigger. We're going to see more. There's going to be a lot more detail to the world, and as we saw, Midgard is frozen. Is like a frozen lake, so there's no more boating in a sea like in Midgard. We have to go on like this sledge or whatever. So yeah, that the world, more towers, more a lot more to see in terms of like, again, like more vegetation, better sceneries, and so on. Another reason why I'm so hyped for it too is because I feel like this is gonna up the scale for the PS5. The PS5 came out 2 years ago, but I believe that once this game comes out, and it's gonna, the PS5 is gonna reach its peak. So this is only for PS5 and PS4, and I'm not sure about PC, but with the PS5 now, like I have like 10 to 11 games for the PS5 so far, and I am enjoying them. Specifically it a Returnal, the Destroy All Humans 2 remake. But I feel like this game here is gonna really up the bar for the next gen games, current gen games now. With this game coming out, the graphics, like I said before, the world, the characters, the dialogue, the side missions, the gameplay loop. It's gonna. I feel like this is gonna up the scale, and the story-oriented nature of these type of games. And like with this game coming out next year, games being delayed like Spider-Man 2, Callisto Protocol, the Street Fighter, what's it called? Street Fighter 8, Resident Evil 4 remake. So there's tons of games coming out after this, and but I feel like this game is gonna really up the scale. In my opinion. Reason number 7, the last reason why I am so hyped for this, to see more weapons, to see what type of weapons are we gonna get, like new weapons and new abilities. We saw there's a new shield, elemental shield, fire shield. You still have the blades and the axe, and whatever upgrades. I would like to see an elemental based weapon, like for example, poison based weapon, a shock based weapon. In the previous game there was only fire and ice based weapon that Kratos had, the main character that you play as. But I like to see more elemental based weapons. And do we see, this is what really epic, will we see previous, like from God of War 1 to 3, will we see weapons like these, a sword of Olympus, a blade of Olympus, that giant sword, right? that he used to fight Zeus? Will we see those shock blades, those shock chains, or the Nemean cestus, or the soul blades? Will we see those again? And like it all ties into the story, and will they give us flashbacks like to the past and all that? And Atreus as well. What new weapons is he gonna get? Is there gonna be a time travel involved in it? So yeah. So those are mostly the reasons why I am, anticipated for it. And I just mentioned time travel. The previous game set up time travel. Human Gander, right? There's a time travel based thing. So a giant snake in the, if you guys know the game, there's a giant snake in the that wraps around the world, and it was sent back in time. And this a giant snake, it's said to be Loki's son. So I will we see like a future version of Atreus too, brought back in the past or present, and yeah, tons of different avenues. Will we see a past version of Kratos, where he's in Greek mythology, Tyr as well. Lots to do. So please like, share, subscribe.